Hi, I'm Sarah Devine. I'm a senior White Tiger Qigong instructor. Today we're going to talk about Qigong for healing and flow state. And before we delve into this, it's going to be helpful to actually look at the word itself. So we pronounce it Qigong, Qigong. So two components. Qi is air or gas or energy or vital energy, and Gong is refined skill or mastery or cultivation. I'm sure there are many other interpretations, but these are the key ones. The word spelt in pinyin is Qigong. You may come across it sometimes spelt Chikung as well, but we're going with Qigong, Qigong. So when we put these two meanings together of the Qi, the air, the energy, vital energy, and the cultivation of Gong, we come up with vital energy cultivation, to put it very simply, and that sounds rather appealing, doesn't it? Now, if you look at the Chinese character, the traditional Chinese character for Qigong, you'll notice a rice kernel with gas, and this indicates the alchemical process that's very much present throughout the Qigong practice. So when we utilize these alchemical processes within our training, we can actually use Qigong for healing. So let's consider first of all what health actually is. Well, it's not just the absence of disease, it's also physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being and social well-being. And when we think about the process of healing, it's about bringing ourselves back into a state of balance. So the processes that we go through when we practice White Tiger Qigong involve, first of all, using dynamic movement practices, also using still practices, and combining them together with internal alchemy, which really just means states of awareness, states of breath control, learning how to use our visualization techniques. All of this comes together to give us a very potent platform for effecting healing. So let's consider some of the key ways that White Tiger Qigong can affect healing. Well, firstly, through the dynamic practices, when we have targeted movement, we can dilate or open our energy lines, our meridian channels through the body. When our Qi is flowing more effectively, when we start removing all those blockages, which can be acute or they can be chronic, they can be really years old, we get a deeper, more efficient flow of blood right through the system. And therefore we're also getting an enhanced oxygen response from that blood flow. And we're also strengthening our energetic defense systems when we learn to dilate these meridians as well. In terms of the fascia, which surrounds your muscles and interpenetrates them as well, it really needs lubricating, and as we get older it often gets very sticky and fuzzy. So the Qigong movements, through dilating, through squeezing, coiling and uncoiling, will promote lubrication of the fascia body. So for example, this coiling movement, coiling the arm, uncoiling, coiling. So this movement, this pulsing into the fascia, coil and uncoil, it helps you to absorb fluids, it helps to transport toxins away, it helps to promote the elastic response. So keeping your body healthy on that level, or returning it to a state of health. When the whole fascial system is more responsive, it's going to help you tap into deeper awareness in your flow state as well, which is also very important for healing, and I'll talk about that in a moment. The movements in White Tiger Qigong also target organ health. So we learn how to squeeze our organs out like a sponge. We're getting compressions and expansions, and all of this type of movement helps to squeeze out toxins and to bring in fresh supplies of all of the fluids that we need to keep working more efficiently, including the blood, of course. So it's another wonderful bonus of practicing Qigong. We have techniques to quieten our emotional mind. It's a kind of self-hypnosis, if you like. We learn how to switch from that chatter state, that constant state, into deeper states of awareness and bringing our mental mind downwards is one of the ways that we can learn to do that. When we're doing this, we can effectively learn to break old loops, old patterns of thought or emotion, and create new ones. So we're effectively calming our conscious mind. Also using emotional meditations, specific meditations that relate to each organ as well, to flush out any stuck or stagnant emotional trauma, and to bring in a counter emotion that's going to help to bring you more into a state of balance. And also, when we're doing our physical movement practice, we're targeting joint health. So we're improving joint mobility. So where you might have some kind of chronic condition in the joints, the gentle flossing of our joints can help to redress those symptoms. Qigong isn't a magic pill. You do need to apply yourself to get these gains that I've mentioned. Self-healing does take time, but it's so worth it if you can just apply yourself on this journey. My students have frequently told me from very short time of practice that they're sleeping better, their digestive systems have improved, they've gotten rid of headaches, more serious levels, that they've alleviated the symptoms of certain arthritic conditions. In fact, on one of the teacher trainings I was on with Master Tevye, we had a lady who had Parkinson's disease have the sensation in the nerves in her toes return after several weeks of daily intensive practice. So just think how amazing that is, that there's so much potential with this practice for people with very many different conditions. One key factor as well in reaching levels of healing and transformation with this Qigong is to get into the flow state. When you enter the flow state, you're going to get really lasting gains. So what does being in the flow state mean? Well, you're fully immersed. You're fully immersed in your practice. You're harmonizing your movement with your breath and with your spirit. Remember, your spirit giving your attention and placing your intention into what you're doing. And this then helps you to go deeper and deeper and deeper into sensing everything in your body simultaneously through this beautiful harmonizing of these elements. When you are fully immersed, you feel really rejuvenated afterwards. Your stress levels go right down, and we know that stress is really a key driver in illness. And even if you have an injury, stress is going to compound an injury. So we want to try and meet that injury with a little bit of non-resistance or less resistance, and certainly alleviating stress helps us to do that. So I think typically 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted practice will get you into the flow state, once you're familiar, of course, with the forms. But even when you're being guided, it can still happen very, very quickly. If you find your mind taking over, then just count your repetitions. That's one way to keep yourself on track. If you really, really need to switch on your relaxation response, then try altering your breath tempo. So if you inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 6, this is an ideal ratio, or 40-60. I mean, you might inhale for 8 and exhale for 12. That's also perfectly fine. So there are so many ways to help yourself towards better health, and we want to get in the flow with our Qigong to feel and experience all its potential. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Check out our channel for more videos on other aspects of Qigong. I look forward to seeing you again soon, right here on the White Tiger Qigong YouTube channel. Don't forget to look us up on Facebook, on Instagram, and at whitetigerqigong.com. Thank you.